and glory. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, how blessed is a man who trusts in you.
Good evening. Thanks, Donnie. Working in the field. And started a life there, so I'm encouraged by people like Donnie just willing to share the gospel everywhere. He also has a good page. You notice he has liberty. I'm going to be in Psalms chapter 36 this evening.
Turn your mic on.
Well, it's on. Oh. Now I'm there. Psalms 36. Man, I got to repeat everything I just said. Psalms 36. I tell you, Psalms 36 is an interesting chapter. It's only 12 verses. There's a lot of information in these 12 verses. It's really talking about choices that you and I have between good and evil. You know, we get to choose, right? You know, it's just not something you stumble into. You don't just kind of wake up one morning and you're evil. You don't just wake up one morning and you're good. You just don't, it just doesn't happen to you. You get to choose which path that you're going to walk. And that's what this psalm is about. It's about choosing. And what happens when we choose which path. You see, if you choose sin, sin leads a certain direction. Sin leads down a road that's filled with pain, that's filled with deception, a path that's filled with violence sometimes, and even selfishness. That's what sin is. Sin is selfishness. I want to do what I want to do. I choose to do what I want to do, regardless of anything else. But choosing God, you see, choosing God leads down another path. It leads down a path of fellowship. Great fellowship. There was some great fellowship not only this morning, but during lunch, I understand. That's the kind of fellowship I like. I like to eat. Going down that path to God also is a path filled with pleasure. It's a path filled with blessing. Untold blessings. Blessings you and I really can't understand right now. It's a life that's filled with helping others. Amen. And so if you just stood back and looked at those two paths, you would choose God every time. So why don't we? Why doesn't everybody choose that path every time? Oh, well, it's because of the way that sin operates on us. Let's look at these first 4 verses. He says, transgression speaks to the wicked deep in his heart. You see, sin gets into your heart. And so when it gets into your heart, now it's not becoming a choice. It becomes something from your heart that you enjoy, that you think is right. You see, there's deception that even generates no fear, he says, of God. Look, he says, there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flatters himself in his own eyes, that his iniquity cannot be found out and hated. The words of his mouth are trouble and deceit. He has ceased to act wisely and do good. Oh, sin is a slow moving involvement that one becomes involved in. Are you listening to me? It's something that slowly takes us over and moves us into a certain direction that we normally would not choose. That's how it gets us, though, through that slow movement, that slow involvement. And before you know it, we become immersed in evil. Evil now has gotten in our heart. Before we even know what has happened in some cases, we sit back and say, how did I get here? How did this happen to me? Have you ever talked to somebody that was really engulfed in a sin that was hurting them physically as well as mentally? And they're sitting there going, I don't even know how I got here. It was that slow move. Satan just slowly pulls you in a direction where he wants you to go. And then we're immersed into sin. Evil seeks to guide one into its own path. There's two roads. Jesus talks about that. We've talked about it. Everybody knows it. Why do we choose the broad way that leads to destruction? We know that's where sin's leading us. We know that's the path that sin's going to take us on. So why do we give into it? One reason is because he says sin is a flatterer. Sin flatters you. You see, our selfishness, our egos, whatever you want to call it, everybody likes to be complimented. We do. We like to be told we did a good job. We like to be patted on the back. I mean, it's just, we just need that sometimes, even to help us. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody you did a good job. We should do it more often because sin is out there doing it. Sin is a flatterer. And that's how it gets people going that way. Well, you and I should be encouragers all the time. Telling people that they're doing good instead of beating them down. Sometimes Christians can be the worst critics. Oh, we want to make sure we tell somebody what they did wrong. We got to point that out. Sometimes we'll be the first one there. Should be edifying, lifting up, and encouraging. Because that's how sin is getting people down that broad way, to overlook the path that he's on because he's being flattered. Sin, it says, the progression of sin, it will even speak through one's lips. Evil starts from the inside, making you believe you have chosen the best way, when in reality, you've chosen the worst way. How can that happen with that? How can sin convince me that I've chosen the right path? How does that happen? Slowly. Getting into your mind. Getting into your heart. You know, that's what deception is, right? We understand the word deception, and that's what Satan is, a deceiver. He's the master at deceit. He gets people to believe their own lies. Lies that come out of their mouth, they even believe it because they've been deceived. You see, if they weren't deceived, they wouldn't believe it. See, that's how he gets us thinking that we're on the right path. He's deceived us. We've enjoyed the flattery. We've enjoyed the courting process. There's certain things we've enjoyed about this interaction. And the next thing we know, he's got us believing the lie, and we're headed to the road that leads to destruction. That's how sin overcomes someone. It snowballs, it grows. Until we wonder, how did we get here? How did I end up here? The man that evil makes is one who makes bad choices. When you're overtaken by evil, when you believe the lie, when you've been deceived, you make bad choices. You think you're making a good choice, but in reality, it's the wrong one. But it's your choice. You chose it. How many times have we talked to somebody that's caught up in this snare of evil? And We try to get them to understand, can't you see that this is a bad choice? And their answer is no, because they can't even see that they're making bad choices. But sin has convinced them that they believe they're making the right choices. They not only choose wrong, but then they stay in it. I've known people that have stayed in their bad choices once they've realized it's a bad choice because they think they have no other way. Well, I've got to stay here now. I'm in this bad choice. Well, that's just another bad choice on top of a bad choice. You see, once we realize it, if we ever wake up out of this trance that Satan or sin has caught us up in, oh, we need to get away from those bad choices. That's how you make good choices and start down that path of following God, down the narrow way. The evil man is one who has no fear of God. You see, he's convinced himself far enough in this, down this path, that now he has no fear of God. He's even convinced himself that there's no hell. He's even convinced himself that his soul, perhaps, doesn't live forever. When he dies, he's just dead. I've heard that before, and I know you have too. That's because they have no fear anymore. Maybe they did at one time. But the person who's caught up in the evil, caught up in that life, going down that path, has no fear of God. He's convinced himself that maybe there is no God. The evil man is one who is foolish. Maybe he once embraced wisdom, but now he's on the path with fools. See, a fool is the one who says in his heart, there is no God. And so, the one who has embraced evil is going down the path with fools and doesn't even realize it. The evil man that Satan makes is one who loves evil. Has grown to love what he does in this evil. And even so much when they get so entangled in it that they hate good. And they love the evil, even though they know that's harmful and hurtful. He has gotten used to it and grown to love it. You know, we can get used to a lot of things, can't we? We can adapt and become used to our situation around us. Sometimes so much that we even forget that evil is there or present. When I was in the military, I was around certain people so much all the time that there was a time in my life I didn't even hear curse words anymore. Didn't hear it. I heard it so much, I adapted. I became immune to the sound. And so I just didn't even hear it. I could watch a movie filled with it and didn't even know it. That's a scary thought. That we can become immune to sin like that. But we can't. You see, that's what Satan tries to get us to do. To get comfortable with it so we don't fight it. So we won't leave it. So we'll just exist with it. You know, Satan doesn't even care if we're his number one pupil. Satan doesn't care what level you are. He says, listen, just don't fight it. Just don't stand against it. Just don't teach against it. Just coexist with it. Oh, how many times have we heard that? We just need to love everybody and get along with everybody and coexist with everything. You see, Satan always uses a little bit of truth to get you to accept the lie. Right? We have to understand if there was no truth in it, nobody would listen to it. But because there's a little bit to it, then he starts getting in our minds and in our hearts. And that's all he wants is that little hole to get us to start going down that path to thinking everybody's okay. Doesn't matter what you do. You can do whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter how you live your life. Doesn't matter how you talk. It doesn't matter if you're listening to a joke. You're not the one telling it. How many lies has Satan told you over the years? And he'll continue to tell you lies as long as you listen. Satan is just wanting somebody to listen to it. You know, we talk about listening. We talked a little bit this morning about listening in class. Here's the thing about listening. I want you to listen to everybody but Satan, okay? When he's around, just don't listen to him. Tell Satan to leave. Resist the devil, and he'll do what? See, because he can't force you. He's got to lie to you. He's got to slowly get you to change. He's got to slowly get you to choose the evil path. And that's how he pulls you in. And so he can get all of you. He's got to start with something. An evil person is one who has the wrong aspirations in his heart. You know, what is it that's in our heart? What is it that we want? What's our most desire? What is it that we want in the deepest thoughts of our heart? Should be God. Should be seeking God and His righteousness. But Satan wants to throw in some other things. Satan wants to cloud our thinking. Satan wants to put some stuff in there that's flattering to you. Put some stuff in there that kind of pats you on the back and pulls you away so that he can get you down that path. So that you can embrace evil without really knowing. That's what you're doing. That's what Satan's trying to do to us. Oh, verse number 5 says, your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens. Your faithfulness to the clouds. You see, there's some greatness in God. There's some greatness in God's grace. And it's too good to miss. We don't want to miss God's grace. We need to understand just how great it is so that we don't miss it. Listen, I know what I'm talking about because there's been some things in your life that you would miss for anything. Whether it was an appointment, whether it was the birth of a child, no matter what it was, there's things in your life you can think back of, oh man, I wouldn't have missed that for nothing. And not only will you make sure you're there, you'll set alarms, you'll tell people about it, you'll have people help you remember so that you don't forget, so that you're there, because you don't want to miss it. Well, when I'm talking about the greatness of God, we're talking about eternal life in heaven, the greatest gift of all. And there'll be people miss it because they're not looking for it with the urgency or something that they look for. The same urgency. And that's what Satan is counting on. That he'll put some things in your path that's going to cause you not to look at the greatness of God. So that you'll stay away from that road. The greatness of God's grace is too great for you and I to grasp by ourselves. That's why it's a free gift. God's grace is too great for you and I to come up with. We can't work for it. We can't earn it. Salvation is a gift from God. But we have to be looking. We have to be obedient. We have to get a hold of the gospel plan of salvation. And that's where Satan comes in to try to distract us, cloud our thinking, our judgment, to get us going in another direction. But we need to understand where the greatness is. Because the greatness of God is too grand, it's too great to fail. God's grace cannot fail. But Jesus said, narrow is the road, and few will find it. See, it won't fail, but there'll be people who won't find it. Why? Because of Satan's influence. Because of him clouding their judgment. Because of him dangling some bait out there that's going to pull them away from the right path. Get them on the path of destruction. The greatness of God. Those who enter this covenant relationship with God have entered into God's eternal purpose. God. See, we're back off to where we were in the beginning when we talked about how we just looked at the two paths, the two directions, and what they all entail. We choose God every time. We choose to be Christ-like every time. But Satan's counting on you not looking at it that way. Satan's counting on you being so busy in your life, so caught up in your day-to-day activities, so caught up in everything that's happening with you in the world that you won't notice that he's slowly pulling you away from God's path. He's counting on all of this going on so that when you do wake up and realize where you are, how did I get here? And then people, a lot of the time, will just say, I give up. And then just stay where they are. And I'm telling you, it's never too late to change directions. It's never too late to get out of Satan's grasp. That'd be much better if we never got into Satan's grasp. If in the beginning we could notice what's going on and choose rightly God's path and choose good. That would be the best case scenario. But it doesn't always happen like that. People get caught up in sin because Satan's a liar, because he's a deceiver. Some people get caught up because they didn't do the work up front to stay in God's Word. And they didn't do what was necessary in the beginning to fight against Satan. They didn't put on the full armor of God. And then they got caught up in Satan's trap. But it's never too late. It's never too late to get out of his grasp. And you see, Jesus never leaves you. Even when you've given in to Satan's lies and deception and you're just wallowing in sin, Jesus is still there saying, reach your hand out. I'm here. Let me help you. Let me pull you out and away from that path that leads to destruction. Oh, there's a greatness in God that only comes from God. Oh, when I look at these verses, 7 says, how precious is your steadfast love, O God. How precious is God's love. He says, the children of mankind take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light do we see light. Oh, continue your steadfast love for those who know you. Listen, you can see he's talked about the transgressions. He's talked about the evil man. He's talked about how sin flatters. He's talked about all the things that's involved when you get caught up in the sin. Now he's talking about how great God is. And if you notice, the sin that man is caught up into is all because of himself. Not because of God. Oh yes, Satan's involved, but it's a choice. And it's all made from selfishness, the selfish desire, the selfish flattering words, the selfishness that comes from your eyes, or the selfishness of what you want, your desires. But when he talks about God, you see, it's not your greatness that pulls you out of this. It's not your greatness that keeps you from going down that path of destruction. It's not your greatness that leads you down the path of eternal life. It's God's. You see, we're weak. And Satan is counting on that weakness. He's not counting on you relying on the strength of God. But God says, hey, if you count on me, my grace is yours. And I will take care of you. Oh, continue your steadfast love to those who know you. You see, does God love the world? Of course he does. He sent his Son. But he has a special love for his children who know him. How do you know God? When you're obedient to the plan of salvation. You become his children. God adds you to the church. Those who are obedient to him. How do you know God? By continuing in his will. How do you know God? By reading, studying, and meditating on his word. How do you know God? By being Christ-like. That's how you know God. The writer says, continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright of heart. See, don't let Satan get into your heart, harden your heart. Let God into your heart. That's what the writer is talking about. But the choice, again, is yours. Let not the foot of arrogance come upon me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. There the evildoers lie fallen. They are thrust down, unable to rise. Who's unable to rise? The evildoers. Who will rise? God's children. You know, when Jesus comes back, what's going to happen? Not only will every knee bow, but the dead in Christ will rise first. Those of us who are left on this earth will be changed in an instant, a twinkling of an eye. We'll rise and meet Jesus in the sky. Did you know when Jesus comes back, he'll never step foot on this earth again? Did you know that? If somebody's told you different from the book of Revelation, honey, they lied to you. Jesus is going to be in the sky, and we're going to meet in the sky. And he's going to deliver the church to God. Amen? You see, that's the blessing of God. When someone asks you, do you believe in life after death? You see, they're really asking the wrong question. What they should be asking is, do you believe in the faithfulness of God? That's what they should be asking. God has clearly told us what he will do about all the tomorrows of those who trust him. He's clearly told us that. So the question is, do you believe in the faithfulness of God? I know I certainly do. And that's why he said you can know eternal life. That God is faithful. He's just. He's loving. Will God keep his promise? If the answer is yes, then there's a glorious life beyond the grave. The grave is not the end, but the beginning of eternal life with God. Amen. Isn't that an assurance, a loving assurance that Christians can get a hold of? That good news that we need to share with others. There's people out there living miserable lives because they think this is all there is. They don't know. Satan has got into their heart, led them down that path, and got them so entrenched in his lies and deception that they don't know any other way. That's why it's up to us to share this good news with others. If you're here this evening, and whatever your needs are, we're here as a family to help, encourage, support, edify. Amen? We want to be that family that people say, man, I want in that family. I want to be part of that group. Are you with me? We want people outside knocking on the door, coming in. We'll say, come on in. There's room for everybody. Amen.